Could I have your name and age, please?
It's Vito Minetti and I'm 23.
And your occupation and where you're from originally?
I am from Southampton and I'm a student.
In reference to the first picture I showed you, do you find this attractive? And if so or not, then why?
I don't find it attractive. She is overly emaciated. She's pretty much everything that is wrong with high fashion. I think that the whole setup, the position she's in, what she's wearing, the connotations of the whole picture is just like a negative advertisement for anorexia.
As a young male, what do you find attractive and why? And does your opinion reflect on other young men of your age?
I suspect my opinion would reflect other men of my own age, but each to their own. Every one man's meat is another man's gold. But what I find attractive is almost, well, I would say the opposite of her, but the opposite of her would be completely obese. So I would say a middle ground, a girl with curves, but not a girl who is like that, emaciated. You want a woman with substance to her.
Okay. In reference to the second picture I showed you, do you find this any more or less attractive than the first? If so or not, then why?
I find it as unattractive as the first. If I had to be pushed into an answer, I would say less attractive than the first picture. I think it's more socially acceptable for a man to sleep with someone overly skinny than it is for a man to be sexually attracted to someone who's overly large. I think, for example, if a man was to go out into a nightclub and pull an overweight woman, they would get more stick from their friends than if they pulled a girl who may or may not be anorexic.
Okay. Do you think that where you were brought up has any reflection on your opinions, of your perceptions of body size and body image?
Where I was brought up?
Yes.
Well, I was brought up in a number of places, and each place, I would say, has a different take on the norm / acceptable size of a woman and how a woman should be. I find it was very different in each place that I went.
How so?
Well, in Spain, women are preferred far more curvaceous than, say, France, where it was considered very chic to be very skinny, compared to England, where I would say is the middle ground of the two places.
Okay. And my last question, do you believe your upbringing has a bearing on the answers you gave?
Yes and no. I was brought up by two women, so I find that maybe not consciously that they instilled a certain expectation of how a woman should look, and what's wrong for a woman to be like. I would say that they both, certainly the people who did bring me up, both certainly had strong opinions on how a woman should be.
Thank you very much.